Hey guys, what is going on? It's me, Stottin Mad of Virals Gaming, and first of all, I'd like to apologise for the lack of uploads lately. I've just been very busy with university and I've been on holiday for a week and I just haven't had a chance to sit down and do much recording. But hopefully that's going to change and I'm going to be able to upload more, whether it's just readings or small commentaries. I'm very happy to say that I got a 2-2 in my English and creative writing course. So I have essentially passed my university degree and hopefully that'll allow me to find a better job and do well in life. I'm also going to hopefully finish my novel and get it published by the end of this year, so fingers crossed for all that. Anyhow, there is something I want to discuss in regards to a post I saw on Kotaku in Action, a subreddit on Reddit, and they were talking about a tweet made by Anne Rice that basically said that she is prepared to accept any kind of fiction regardless of content, and people were in particular going on about fanfiction and how some reason her actions in the past mean she's infringing on their right of speech and is advocating for censorship. And I couldn't believe I was seeing this, because by saying that you're denying the writer, the original author's right to defend their work and to keep it from being trashed by someone else. And I wouldn't appreciate if someone wrote fan fiction and then tried to pass it off as the real thing. It's drawing a fine line between creative writing and plagiarism. That's what fan fiction is. By all means, write fan fiction. I'm nothing against fan fiction. I've wrote Jeff the Killer stuff, for crying out loud. I'm perfectly okay with fan fiction, as long as it doesn't attempt to pass itself off as blatant canon when it isn't. You have to respect the original canon. You have to respect what the author originally intended. Only they know the characters. You don't, I don't, they do. I don't understand how it's that hard to work out. There comes a time when you have to realise, by all means, be anti-censorship, but also encourage other writers to be original in their work, to come up with their own characters and not to rip off from someone else or to just write fan fiction all their life. Because in my opinion, the true merit of an author is to be able to create an original world with original characters and a plot that is well thought out and well executed. And it's not an easy thing to do, let's be honest. It takes a lot of thought and it can either go one way or the other. But defending fan fiction and saying that by going against it you're infringing on another person's ability to write what they want, I kind of draw the line there. I see that as people trying to allowing for plagiarism of other works. You wouldn't do it in essays and you wouldn't do it in school, so why do it with an author who has put a lot of effort into writing a book? I mean, surely that's why the canon exists for any piece of work, so that people know what the actual universe consists of. Because if you just allowed anyone to add it to it, then it just becomes a jumbled mess. I mean, look at Slender Man, Jeff the Killer. Characters that don't really have one true author and are so brutally contorted, they're barely a shadow of what they were. Any potential they had has been gone out the window because of fanfiction. And let's be honest, a lot of fanfiction is just an excuse to ship this character with that character. And in rare occasions it can be done well, but in just as many, if not the majority of cases, it is just not true to what the characters are in the original story. And I think if you try to publish fanfiction as the actual story as somehow part of the canon, and I think that's wrong. I think that is just you plagiarizing characters and trying to pass them off as your own. You shouldn't be allowed to publish that stuff. By all means, the internet is a place to post whatever the hell you want, I guess. There is a fine line in the long run with this, between allowing people to write what they want and also remembering that an author put a lot of time into their characters, and the last thing anyone wants is for them characters to be treated by someone else like they were just to be transformed into something that they aren't. Well, at least that's my stance on it. Obviously Anne Rice is not perfect by the sounds of it. She seems to have done certain things that people don't agree with, but at the same time I can understand where she's coming from, and I can understand why authors would be so against fan fiction, because the last thing you want is someone running around with your characters and taking them and mangling them into something that they're not. At least I hope that's what people understand from this. I'm not advocating for these people to be censored. I'm advocating for them to get some originality, for crying out loud. By all means, write fan fiction in your spare time, but if you want to be a true author, then you need to knuckle down and write something that is from you, not someone else. By all means, be inspired and take inspiration from somewhere, but be original. That's all I really have to say on the matter. Just be original, and don't be afraid to push boundaries. Don't be afraid to write about someone or something. Don't be afraid to mention something like mechanical apartheid or whatever, because there's going to be people who will disagree with it. They will exist. Just don't let them beat you. And that's all I really have to say on the matter. I've been Starting Mad at Virals Gaming. Thanks for watching.